Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, and today we are talking about the full moon. It's on July 10, it's at 18 degrees of Capricorn, and Uranus is now in Gemini, and that means that all the outer planets that used to be in earth and water are now in fire and air. So in this video, we're going to talk about this, as well as we are going to talk about the ruler of your second house and the placement of it and how that can bring money into your life. That's in the third section of this video, and so I hope you stay all the way to the end. The big news for this full moon is that Uranus has gone into the sign of Gemini. Now this full moon is on July 10, but Uranus went into Gemini on July 7. And it's going to continue there until September, where it goes retrograde, and then it's going to go back into Taurus, and then it will be move forward again and go into Gemini in 2026. I'll put the exact dates on the screen. So let's take a look though at this full moon with this in mind so we can look at how this might affect you personally. When a slower moving planet goes into a new sign, it's quite a change. Uranus is very disruptive energy, and when it's in Gemini, it's even more so. Not to mention that Pluto is in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, and Pluto and Uranus are in a trine. And this is, of course, part of the talent trine. I did a video on this topic, and I will link it in the description. Now, this is an Earth full moon, being in Capricorn, and yet all of the outer planets now are in fire and air, which means that the whole world can feel like it's spinning out of control. And you are trying to stay grounded and continue to focus on the practical things and build your life. A Capricorn full moon is a time where you are looking at your life and assessing how your progress is. You're comparing that potentially to your own goals or to people that you know or people out in the world. You see, Capricorn energy wants to build something that lasts. Now, because all of the outer planets are changing signs and there's all this chaotic energy, it's very important to take this Capricorn moon energy and look at things from the standpoint of reality versus all of the hype that might be coming through the screens that we watch all the time. Many of you watching this video are going to be able to take hold of the powerful energy of the talent trine and use it to bring opportunities into your life. And this is a time where you want to look at the opportunities that you want to attract. And of course, we need to be very cognizant of the fact that this is a Capricorn full moon, which means it's ruled by Saturn, which is sitting there conjunct Neptune. And there are two options for this. The better option is that the Saturn-Neptune conjunction gives you a set of blueprints from which to follow step by step to achieve what you want. But the opposite is that Neptune then dissolves the structure of Saturn based on fears or nightmares or anxiety in general. So the best thing to do during a Capricorn full moon is to stick with the practical, to be aware of your duties, your obligations, and your responsibilities. And don't cut corners. Do the right thing, because reputation is important at this time. Hi everyone, I just wanted to pause this video for one quick second to say I'm sorry. I have just found out that my contact form on my website has not been working, probably for weeks. And I did not check it, and I didn't know it wasn't working. So if you have sent in your birth information and not received a chart from me, or you've sent in a question and you have not received a response from me, then it's because I did not get your email. And I'm getting it fixed, and so, or it is fixed by the time you see this. And thanks so much. And now back to the video. Okay, Aries, there is so much going on in your chart. You might feel like you're being singled out by the universe, but actually because Uranus is going into Gemini, and that's a harmonious sign, I think that you're going to see that the winds of change are shifting in your direction. And so we do see some opportunities with this full moon, maybe through your career or how you are in the public, and these could bring some sort of beneficial opportunity or even something like a promotion, a new job. So there is something that is happening, and it's your ability to take quick action that's going to help at this time. Now, when it comes to relationships of all kinds, and that would include friendships and collaborations, as well as romance, Venus is making a square to Mars. So that is very much about focusing on taking action, going out and meeting new people and connecting. Or if you have something going on with your partner, just sit down and work it out because you can. This is a very strong aspect for coming together, especially against some sort of external problem. So where the two of you can combine your resources together to work on that. If you don't have an external problem, then it is possible that you are kind of bumping heads together. But again, you are going to be able to come to some sort of resolution because there is an aspect. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from Venus, and Venus is sitting there with Uranus. Venus has been there through this journey of Uranus going into Gemini, and now Venus is starting to separate from this energy, but it's still there enough for you to grab hold of this very inventive, creative, inspiring energy. And so this all comes down to what kind of questions you're asking yourself about your money. And so if you look at the questions you've been asking and shift them, maybe from something that is based in the negative, if you're saying to yourself things like, why does this always happen to me? Or I can't seem to get ahead, why is that? And shift it to things like, what's working in my life and how can I do more of that? What is the opportunity I'm not seeing at the moment? Or how can I take this and repurpose it into that? Those types of questions are really great right now for you with this Venus and Uranus combination. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, Venus is making a trine with Pluto. That means over the next 2 weeks, you have an opportunity to make more money than usual. A trine means that it's easy and that it facilitates the energy. But if you give it a little push, it goes farther. So this is that the momentum will carry you a little bit of the way. But if you take action, you can do much more. And then when it comes to money from your career, so that would be like a paycheck, Venus is conjunct the Uranus, as we mentioned, and so this is a great opportunity to sit down with your supervisor and talk about your career trajectory. And if your supervisor says there's nowhere you can go in this, and we're on a budget, and there's a hiring freeze or a raise freeze, any of those things that show you that there's a block, it means there is another door open for you somewhere else. And so that's the time to say, all right, well, maybe I need to dust off my resume and start looking around. Again, this is a nice conjunction, so that doesn't mean that this is forced energy. It just is an opportunity. Okay, in the third section of this video, I have a couple of announcements, and then we're going to continue talking about the second house and the money in your chart. The new month wishes class is on July 1st at 12 p.m. Pacific time. If you watch this video after July 1st, then the next class is on August 1st, and it's at noon Pacific time. This is a free class where we talk about the astrological happenings for the month, and then together we write our wishes, and then we energize them together in a short meditation. This class is by Zoom, it's free, and there is a link to register in the description. Members of this channel get access to deep dive videos on astrology, especially more topics about what's happening in the world, and also going more deeply into the interaction of the different cycles. The membership button to join is right by the subscribe button, and so I hope you become a member. So a few weeks ago, we started looking at the money in your chart, and so we've talked already about finding your second house cusp, finding the sign on the second house cusp, and that leads us to the ruler of that sign, or the ruler of your second house. Now, you do have 4 money houses, so we're really focusing right now on the second house. And the second house is more about how the money flows into your life and flows out of your life. So once you know the sign on the second house cusp, then you can find the ruler of that sign. That planet is going to be the planet that rules your money house, the second house. And whatever house that planet is in is a source of money for you. And that is, you go to the sign on your house cusp, the second house cusp, and that sign is ruled by a planet in your chart, and you go to that planet, wherever that planet is, whatever house it is, you pull money from that house. So, for example, if you have Leo on the second house, Leo is ruled by the sun, and if you have the sun in the seventh house, you pull money from the seventh house. Now, as I said before, this is just one of the places you can pull money from. We will talk about the other places in future videos if you're interested. Let me know in the comments. So if the ruler of your second house is in the first house, then you get money through entrepreneurship, freelancing, public speaking, acting, personal training, life coaching, motivational coaching, team leadership, construction, or anything that involves doing something physical. If the ruler of your second house is in the second house, then you make money through things like financial advisor, accountant, doing real estate, entrepreneurship, wealth management, selling luxury goods, selling collectibles, dealing with fine jewelry or precious metals. If the ruler of your second house is in the third house, then you can make money through writing, teaching, journalism, public speaking, selling cars, driving, so anything where you're driving a truck or delivery service, graphic design, dancing, singing, and I should point out with this placement, this is the most common placement I see for CEOs because it also aids in communication. If the ruler of your second house is in the fourth house, you could make money through real estate, home-based businesses, interior design, home renovation, dealing with antiques and collectibles, landscaping, family counseling, historical research, home organizing, or having a daycare. If the ruler of your second house is in the fifth house, then you could make money through things like creative arts, the entertainment industry, gaming, fashion design, children's education, party planning, fertility services, speculation, which includes gambling, music, theater, and content creation. If the ruler of your second house is in the sixth house, you can make money through healthcare services, medical billing, fitness training, being a personal assistant, pet care services, alternative healing, home organizing, personal chef, working in a laboratory, doing environmental work, and accounting. If the ruler of your second house is in the seventh house, you could make money through human resources, business partnerships, legal services, coaching services, event planning, matchmaking, public relations, marriage counselor, personal shopper, color consultant, chess master, or interior decorator. If the ruler of your second house is in the eighth house, you can make money through investments, investment banking, tax consulting, estate planning, forensic work, private investigator, mergers and acquisitions. You could be a mortician, debt management, research and analysis, psychic and intuitive services, art investment, crypto, and medicine, but involving surgery. If the ruler of your second house is in the ninth house, your money could be made through higher education, photography, publishing, travel writing, legal consulting, foreign language instruction, spiritual or religious leadership, international relations, import-export businesses, and legal services. If the ruler of your second house is in the 10th house, you could make money through corporate leadership, entrepreneurship, investment management, executive coaching, public relations, healthcare administration, media production, venture capitalism, professional speaking, event management, and government jobs. If the ruler of your second house is in the 11th house, you can make money through social media marketing, working in technology, network marketing, startup incubation, event planning, nonprofit management, the airline industry, test engineering, community activism, being an inventor, doing research and development, or video editing. And if the ruler of your second house is in the 12th house, you can make money through intuitive readings, holistic healing practices, meditation coaching, working with a charity, doing addiction counseling, anything dealing with the ocean, from oceanography to fishing, herbalism, sound healing, art therapy, hospice work, or being a confidential secretary. And that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you want to continue to dive into how to find the money in your chart, or if you want me to cover some other topic. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, consider becoming a member, subscribe to my newsletter, and I will see you in the next video.